Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Tea. I'm your host, the amazing Tea Street. Today's mug, yes, is cracked, but it's still meaningful to me. Friends make everything better. And it says, lucky to have you. I don't believe in luck, I believe in blessings. So I'm blessed to have my friends. Today, I wanted to talk about a topic. Don't skip the process of developing strong friendships. I'm always amazed when God aligns things. So he aligned today my pastor's message with the message that I had planned to talk about today. So it just all aligns. And so my pastor actually said something that I want to lead with that's not in my slides because he said it and it provoked a thought for me. He said, we want good friendships and we want strong connections to people, but make sure we do it with wisdom. So everything I say today, please use wisdom. Use wisdom. Everybody is not sent to be your friend. I don't have those kind of trust abilities. I don't trust all of these people to be my friends, nor do I call all of the people friend who calls me friend. I use that term very guardedly and very cautiously and very carefully. So that's my disclaimer as I begin today's topic. Don't skip the process of developing strong friendships. Now, I'll start by saying my best friend is my sister Tanya. My oldest sister is my she's my older sister. She's my best friend. She's not just my sister. I would choose her as my BFF even if we were not sisters. The bonus is that we're sisters, but the blessing is that we are friends. And I think that she would say that I'm one of her closest friends as well. So today I want to talk about how do you develop strong, what is the process for developing strong friendships? Well, the first thing, be present and be consistent. Good morning, Miss Brown. Be present and be consistent. What does that mean? It's not about grand gestures. My sister and I, we don't make grand gestures. We talk almost every day. If one of us doesn't reach out by the end of the day and something has happened, we'll call or text to check in like, you good? Because it's unusual for us not to talk at least once every day. That's not a grand gesture for me. It's the small things that are more consistent. Don't show up on my birthday. That's not what my friends do. My friends are in more constant communication, and I'm in more constant communication with them. One of my really good friends, Val. What I love about Val is that she's consistent. Every so often, 2 or 3 days or once a week, she'll just send me this whole thinking of you kind of text. And it usually has a little uh, GIF, a GIF that comes up. And so that's how I know that I'm on her heart often, and not just at my birthday, not just at Christmas, not just at the places where we can do grand gestures. And for me, I'm not a grand gesture kind of girl. I appreciate when people celebrate my birthday, but I appreciate the people who every now and then say, T, I know that you're a strong person, but even the strong people need some people. You good? Those are the gestures that are more consistent. So be present for people and be consistent. That's the first thing. Ooh, this one was the hardest one for me. And it's still hard sometimes to be vulnerable and honest, which is why I don't open myself up. And I'm not encouraging people. Good morning, Elder Kim. I'm not encouraging people to open themselves up to everybody. Let me just be real and let me just be real clear. Being vulnerable and honest requires some things be in place before you get to this place. Strong friendships, though, they're not built on perfection. None of my friends expect me to be perfect, and thank goodness, nor do I expect that of them. But they do require us to be honest. It requires us to tell each other the truth, even when it's hard. It requires us to allow people to see the parts of us that are not perfect. My friends be looking at me side eye like, girl, please. One of my favorite friends, she always is like, girl, if people knew how ignorant and silly and crazy you are, all this Miss T stuff makes me gag, is what she said. She said, because they don't know how stupid you are. Allowing people to get access to that version of you, allowing people to see the parts of you that show up differently when you're not in public, y'all, that's a hard place, the vulnerable place. But it's not weakness, it's the bridge between surface level connection and deep understanding. If you can't see the vulnerabilities in me, I can promise you, if you don't know what makes me tick and what makes me hurt, you don't know me. You know the public presentation or the representative of T, but you don't know me Because in order to know me, I have to be willing to be vulnerable and honest with you. Sometimes it's sharing a moment and hearing somebody say to me, T, I feel you. I feel your pain. I've been there too. It creates some bonds, y'all, when folks can be vulnerable with each other. That's an important part of developing strong friendships. And so I hope that as you all are out there and everybody's thinking about how we're going to do this, that you know that it requires a level of risk. And everybody can't take risk, nor am I willing to give that kind of risk with everybody. Y'all, you got to learn how to handle conflict with care. Now, I used to be a conflict avoider. I hate conflict, y'all. If I'm honest with y'all, people think I like to fight and I like to pick fights. I don't. I hate conflict because it ties my insides up. I just was vulnerable with y'all. It ties my insides up in knots when I'm in conflict with people. And if I think somebody's mad, now don't get it twisted. I'm not gonna go chase people down. Like, did I do something to offend you? If we friends, I'm going to ask that question. And I'm going to expect you to be honest with me. And then how we work through the process of solving the conflict will determine whether or not we had surface level friendship. Because if our friendship cannot survive conflict, we had acquaintanceship. Yep, I said it. If our friendship cannot survive conflict, we didn't have a friendship. We had an acquaintanceship. And unfortunately, I've discovered that with some folks. It couldn't survive the hard stuff. And so consequently, now I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm honest, if I get too many of those, can't handle conflict kinds of things, my wall goes all the way up. Because every now and then you're going to hurt me and I'm going to hurt you. And we're going to say, no, we disagree on this. This week I had a radical disagreement with someone over the political stuff of the last couple of weeks. And we worked through that conflict and both of us were able to see each other's perspectives much more clearly. Because in order to have strong friendships, you must be able, good morning, Dee, you must be able to handle conflict with care. It's essential when we're talking about developing strong relationships and friendships. Now, y'all, there's some acquaintanceships. It's okay to have, everybody can be your friend. My mother used to say to me, if you have too many friends, it concerns me because it tells me a couple of things. It tells me, one, that you don't have a strong spirit of discernment. And two, it tells me that you got too much time on your hands because real friendships require time and the investment of time. And who got that kind of time to have 15, 20 friends? What about your friends? If you want to build and develop strong friendships, you must be present and consistent, be vulnerable and honest, and you must learn how to handle conflict with care. Because if you can't get through the conflicts, you don't have a friendship, you have an acquaintanceship. I'm the amazing T Street. I hope that some of you will take the opportunity this weekend to celebrate and spend time with some of your friends. I'm doing that this weekend. It's the pre-weekend to my birthday. My birthday is next Thursday. And so I'm doing some time with different people this weekend. And so I hope that you will take that time to be present and to be vulnerable and to handle your conflict with care. I'm the amazing T Street, but y'all know what? Absolutely, positively nothing amazing in me. It's not in each and every one of you. So today, I challenge you to not skip the process of developing strong friendships. We need each other, y'all. Peace.